A major
and he
legal
tried to
update
take our whole
involving
family
Joseph
down.
Duggar
But
is
God
now
has
drawing
really
widespread
used
public
this
attention
to,
after his attorney
instead
officially
of
requested
tearing us
changes
apart
to an
as a
existing
family,
no-contact
he's used
order
it to draw
that
us
has
together.
reportedly
So for
restricted
us,
both his
we've
property
forgiven,
access
and we're
and
moving on, and
communication
we're
with
looking to the
family
future.
members.
That's John
According to
David
newly
Duggar
filed
opening
court
up about
documents,
his older
Duggar's legal
brother's
team
scandal
argues
in a
that the
new
current
interview with Good
restrictions are
Morning
becoming
America Monday.
increasingly difficult for
ET
him and his
reported it
family, while
exclusively
he awaits
first
further
that
legal
Josh Duggar
proceedings
left
connected to a criminal
rehab in
case
early
in
March.
Florida. The request has now sparked intense debate online, especially among longtime followers of the Duggar family. For those unfamiliar with the situation, Joseph Duggar first became publicly known through the hit reality television series 19 Kids and Counting, and later appeared on Counting On, alongside members of the Duggar family. Over the years, the family built a massive public image centered around religion, conservative values, and family life. However, multiple controversies involving family members have repeatedly placed the Duggars under heavy media scrutiny. Now, Joseph Duggar is once again at the center of a growing legal controversy after authorities accused him of inappropriate conduct involving a minor during a family trip in Florida back in 2020. Duggar has denied the allegations and officially pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against him. Following his arrest, the court imposed several strict conditions as part of his pretrial release agreement. Among the most serious restrictions was a no-contact order that reportedly prevented Duggar from communicating with minors unless specifically approved by the court. The order also restricted him from approaching certain locations connected to the alleged victim. At the time, prosecutors argued that such measures were necessary to protect the integrity of the case and ensure public safety while legal proceedings continue.
It was hard.
Since then, Duggar has remained under court supervision as the investigation and hearings move forward. But according to new motions filed by his lawyer, those restrictions are now creating major complications in Duggar's daily life. One filing claims that several properties associated with Duggar are located too close to the residence connected to the alleged victim's family. Because of that, he has allegedly been unable to visit or maintain those properties for months. The legal filing reportedly lists numerous unfinished maintenance issues that now require attention. These include overgrown landscaping, grass cutting, interior painting, damaged sheetrock repairs, flooring installation, and removal of an old deteriorating structure located on one of the properties. Duggar's attorney argues that delaying these repairs could result in additional financial loss and property damage. According to the motion, the current restrictions were not originally intended to block ordinary property maintenance or create financial hardship. The defense now wants the judge to modify the order so Duggar can access the locations under specific conditions without violating court rules. However, the property issue is only one part of the legal request. Another major point raised by Duggar's attorney involves his children and family communication. Court filings reportedly claim that Joseph Duggar has been unable to speak with or see his 4 children for an extended period because the current no-contact order applies broadly to minors. His attorney argues that the alleged victim in the Florida case is unrelated to Duggar's own children, and says preventing all communication with his family is placing emotional strain on both the children and their parents. The defense is now asking the court to allow supervised or approved family contact while the case remains active. The situation has generated strong reactions online. Some supporters believe Duggar deserves limited access to his family and properties while awaiting trial, especially since he has not been convicted of any crime. Others argue that the court restrictions should remain fully in place until the legal process is complete. Legal experts following the case say the judge's decision could become extremely important because it may determine how strictly Duggar's pretrial conditions are enforced moving forward. In cases involving allegations connected to minors, courts often take a highly cautious approach before approving any modification requests. Meanwhile, public attention surrounding the Duggar family continues growing as more details emerge from the case. What initially appeared to be a routine legal hearing is now becoming a closely watched courtroom battle involving family rights, property access, and public safety concerns. As the court prepares to review Joseph Duggar's latest legal request, new details from the filings are beginning to reveal just how complicated the situation has become behind the scenes. According to reports surrounding the case, Duggar's attorney is attempting to convince the judge that the current restrictions are far broader than necessary and are now interfering with normal family responsibilities and financial obligations. One of the biggest concerns raised in the legal motion centers around the condition that reportedly prevents Duggar from entering areas located near the residence, connected to the alleged victim's family. His attorney claims that because several of Duggar's properties fall within that restricted zone, he has effectively lost direct access to locations that require constant supervision and maintenance. The defense reportedly argues that these are not abandoned properties or temporary investments. Instead, they are said to be active locations requiring ongoing upkeep to avoid long-term damage and financial decline. According to the filing, months of delayed maintenance have already created visible deterioration in some areas. Among the problems reportedly listed are damaged walls, unfinished flooring work, landscaping that has become overgrown, and exterior structures that may pose safety risks if left untreated. Duggar's lawyer says these are ordinary responsibilities that should not be blocked by a restriction unrelated to property management. The defense is now asking the court to allow Duggar controlled access to those locations under specific conditions. Sources familiar with the filing say the proposal may include supervised visits, limited time windows, or advance notification to authorities before entering the properties. So far, prosecutors have not publicly revealed whether they fully oppose the request or are open to limited modifications. However, legal analysts believe the prosecution will likely argue that maintaining strict boundaries is necessary to avoid any potential risk connected to the ongoing criminal proceedings. Cases involving allegations connected to minors are often treated with extreme caution by the courts. Judges typically prioritize protection measures first, especially before a trial has officially concluded. Because of that, any request involving reduced restrictions can become highly controversial. At the same time, Duggar's legal team appears determined to present the issue as a matter of practicality rather than an attempt to weaken the court order. The attorney reportedly emphasizes that Duggar is not asking for unrestricted freedom, but instead requesting limited adjustments that would allow him to handle basic responsibilities without violating legal conditions. Still, public reaction remains deeply divided. Online discussions surrounding the case have intensified over the past several days, with critics arguing that the seriousness of the allegations should outweigh concerns about property maintenance or personal inconvenience. Others believe pretrial conditions should remain reasonable unless a defendant has violated court rules. But beyond the property issue, the emotional focus of the case continues to center on Duggar's children. According to the filings, the defense argues that the current restrictions have prevented normal communication between Duggar and his 4 children for nearly 2 months. The attorney claims that the separation is creating emotional hardship, not only for Duggar, but also for the children themselves. Reports indicate the legal team wants the judge to consider supervised communication options or approved family visits while the criminal case moves forward. This part of the request may become one of the most sensitive issues in court because it directly involves minors. Legal experts say judges are often extremely careful when balancing parental rights against public safety concerns during active criminal investigations. Meanwhile, the Duggar family itself has remained mostly quiet publicly regarding the latest developments. Unlike previous family controversies that played out heavily on social media and television interviews, recent responses have been far more limited. Some observers believe the family is intentionally avoiding public attention while the legal battle continues. Joseph Duggar's wife, Kendra Duggar, has also stayed largely out of the spotlight throughout the proceedings. However, court-related developments involving family custody and no-contact conditions have repeatedly drawn media attention in recent months. The broader Duggar family history has only added to the public fascination surrounding the case. Over the years, multiple scandals involving different members of the family have significantly damaged the once carefully managed public image built during their reality television success. Now, with the Joseph Duggar facing ongoing criminal allegations and fighting to modify court restrictions, many believe this latest courtroom battle could become another major turning point for the family's public reputation. Now, as the courtroom pressure continues building around Joseph Duggar's case, legal observers say the judge's upcoming decision could have a major impact not only on Duggar personally, but also on how similar cases are handled moving forward. The defense is reportedly trying to frame the situation as a balance between public safety and basic constitutional rights. Duggar's attorney argues that while the court has every right to impose restrictions during an active criminal case, those restrictions should not unnecessarily interfere with family relationships or create avoidable financial damage. According to reports surrounding the filings, the legal team believes there are alternative ways to enforce safety measures without completely cutting Duggar off from property access and communication with his children. That argument is expected to become a central focus during upcoming court discussions. However, prosecutors are likely preparing a much different argument. In cases involving allegations connected to minors, courts are generally known for taking the safest possible approach until all evidence has been reviewed and a final verdict is reached. Prosecutors may argue that even limited modifications could create complications or weaken the effectiveness of the original order. Legal experts following the case say judges usually consider several factors before changing a no-contact order. These can include whether the defendant has followed previous court conditions, whether there is any history of violations, the seriousness of the allegations, and whether public safety concerns remain active. If the judge decides to approve even partial modifications, the changes would likely come with extremely strict conditions. Possible requirements could include monitored visits, scheduled communication windows, third-party supervision, GPS tracking, or limitations on when and how Duggar may access certain locations. On the other hand, if the court rejects the request entirely, Duggar may remain under the same restrictions until the criminal case reaches trial or another future hearing changes the conditions. Legal analysts say that outcome is also very possible given the nature of the allegations involved. Meanwhile, public attention surrounding the case continues spreading across social media platforms, online discussion forums, and entertainment news outlets. Many longtime viewers who once followed the Duggar family through reality television are now watching the legal developments unfold in real time. Some supporters argue that because Duggar has pleaded not guilty and has not been convicted, he should still be allowed limited contact with his family under supervision. Others strongly disagree, insisting that the seriousness of the accusations means the court should maintain maximum restrictions until every detail is fully investigated. The case has also reopened larger conversations online about celebrity families, public image, and the long-term effects of reality television fame. For years, the Duggar family presented themselves as a symbol of traditional family values on national television. But repeated scandals involving different family members have dramatically changed public perception over time. Critics say the family's carefully controlled public image has slowly collapsed under mounting controversies, while supporters continue defending certain members of the family against what they describe as intense media judgment. At the center of it all now stands Joseph Duggar, facing not only criminal allegations but also a growing legal fight over how much freedom he should have while awaiting trial. The outcome of the latest request could determine whether he regains limited access to parts of his personal life or remains under some of the strictest restrictions currently placed on him. So far, no final ruling has been announced by the court regarding the requested modifications. But once the judge delivers a decision, it could quickly become another major headline connected to the Duggar family's ongoing legal troubles. A shocking new report involving the Duggar family is now creating major discussion online after claims surfaced that Kendra Duggar has allegedly cut off communication with her own parents, while her husband Joseph Duggar continues facing serious legal troubles. According to multiple reports circulating around the ongoing controversy, tensions inside the extended Duggar family may now be growing far beyond the courtroom. Sources close to the situation reportedly claim that Kendra has become increasingly isolated during Joseph Duggar's legal battle and has recently distanced herself from several family members, including her parents. The report has quickly attracted widespread attention because Kendra Duggar was long viewed as one of the quieter and more private members connected to the Duggar family. Over the years, she appeared publicly alongside Joseph Duggar during episodes of Counting On, and was often portrayed as deeply family-oriented and closely connected to both sides of their religious community. But according to recent claims, that image may now be changing behind the scenes as legal pressure surrounding Joseph Duggar intensifies. Sources cited in entertainment media reports allege that Kendra's relationship with her parents has become strained in recent months, especially as court proceedings involving Joseph continue drawing national attention. While the exact reason behind the reported separation remains unclear, some reports suggest disagreements over how the family should handle the ongoing scandal may have contributed to the tension. Others believe the stress created by Joseph Duggar's legal situation may have placed enormous pressure on personal relationships within the family. Joseph Duggar is currently facing serious criminal allegations connected to an incident that allegedly took place during a family vacation in Florida several years ago. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and the case remains active in court. Since the investigation became public, the Duggar family has once again found itself under intense media scrutiny. Court hearings, legal filings, and no contact orders connected to the case have repeatedly made headlines, drawing both criticism and public debate online. Now, reports surrounding Kendra Duggar are adding an entirely new layer to the controversy. According to insiders referenced by entertainment outlets, Kendra has reportedly been focusing almost entirely on protecting her children and maintaining stability at home, while Joseph deals with ongoing legal proceedings. Some sources claim that the pressure of constant media coverage and family disagreements has deeply affected her emotionally. The Duggar family has always been known for presenting a united public image rooted in religion and strong family values. Because of that, rumors of serious internal conflict have surprised many longtime followers. Several online discussions have also focused on the possibility that Kendra may be attempting to distance herself from outside influences while the legal battle continues. Others speculate that disagreements involving legal strategy, family support, or public statements may have created divisions between relatives behind closed doors. So far, neither Kendra Duggar nor her parents have publicly confirmed the reports. No official statement has been released addressing the alleged family separation. However, the silence itself has only fueled further speculation among fans and critics following the situation closely. Meanwhile, Joseph Duggar remains under strict legal conditions connected to his ongoing case. Recent court filings revealed that his attorney has already requested modifications to certain no-contact restrictions, arguing that they are affecting both his family life and access to personal property. Those filings reportedly included claims that Joseph has been unable to communicate normally with his children for an extended period because of court-imposed restrictions involving minors. The emotional impact of those conditions has become a major focus of the defense's legal arguments. Now, with reports suggesting that Kendra may also be experiencing growing family isolation, many observers believe the pressure surrounding the Duggar household may be reaching a breaking point. Online reactions have been deeply divided. Some people sympathize with Kendra and believe she may simply be trying to protect her children and avoid additional public drama during an already stressful situation. Others question whether the reported separation points to deeper problems developing within the extended Duggar family itself. As public attention continues growing, many are now waiting to see whether more information will emerge about the reported conflict between Kendra Duggar and her parents, and whether the family will eventually respond publicly to the claims.